the cloud.
To the cloud. To the cloud, please. I'm gonna get lost on my computer. All right, we are officially recording. Okay, so been in the business almost 4 years. Like I said, double diamond. Promoted my mom to diamond in April, and then March. I don't remember when she went to diamond, but she went to diamond, and then I promoted it to double diamond in May. So crazy. Before it works, I was working, 50, 60 hours a week at a veterinary hospital as a veterinary technician. Really long days, like 14, 15-hour days. They were really, really rough. I got diagnosed with end-stage renal failure when I was 20. Hi, Janet. When I was 20, immediately thought I was invincible and that like nothing was ever going to happen to me. And then lo and behold, not even 6 months later, my kidneys completely failed and I had to start dialysis treatments immediately. I did dialysis three nights a week for 3.5 to 4.5 hours, depending on how much fluid I have and depending on what I needed to do in order to get my function working. So I was on dialysis for 6.5 years. And during those 6.5 years, this business literally fell into my lap. As I told you guys, I was working crazy hours at the vet hospital. I would come home exhausted. I wasn't able to do anything. I wasn't able to enjoy myself, tired. Like my doctors were even telling me like, you can't do what you're doing right now because you're going to burn out. Like you're not going to be healthy enough for a transplant. And that like absolutely shook me to the core. So then I cut back my hours a little bit, but then I was like, oh, I'm not saving money. I don't have, you know what I mean? And luckily I was blessed enough to live with my parents. Like I still do, like they allow me to live here. I mean, they don't want me to leave, honestly, but I'm leaving. And don't laugh. He's laughing at me. But I was lucky enough to have that support from them, but in my head, I didn't want support from them, right? I wanted to be independent. I wanted to pay for my own stuff. I wanted to do all my stuff on my own. Y'all, the neighbors are coming over. Look at this. Do you see what's happening right now? The neighbors are coming over to talk. Hold on a second. Jesus. Really? Out of all the days, y'all want to come have a powwow yourselves? Gosh. All right. Sorry, guys. All the neighbors are like, oh, what's up, Sabrina? And I'm like, oh, talk to me. Okay. So I was literally asking for asking for a blessing, basically being like, okay, I physically and mentally and emotionally cannot work 50 to 60 hours a week as a veterinary nurse. Even though I love working with animals, I still do. It was just too exhausting, too tiring, right? So I'm like, I need to be able to do something. And I'm very creative. Like I think of stuff all the time. So I was like, okay, I can walk dogs, or I can do this, or I can do that. But what if I live in New England, guys. We get like 6 feet of snow in the winter. Like there's no walking dogs in that temperament. So I had to think about all these things. And then legitimately, as I was thinking about it, I came across Melissa's post on Instagram, and she was talking about, I don't know how we became friends on Instagram. We just became friends. Like she must have added me, right? She must have grown her network to find good old Sabrina, right? And I'm here. So, and I just looked at her post and I was like, wait. You make money from your phone? Is this legit? Like, what is happening? And then I'll never forget. I was actually sitting in my dialysis chair getting treatments done because I'm stuck there, right? I'm stuck there for 3.5 hours. It's literally a part-time job that I didn't get paid for when I should have been getting paid for because it was awful. Literally fell into my lap. And I was the type of person, like I left Melissa on red for maybe like 3 months, I think. And then something one day just clicked in my brain and I was like, yup, like just sign me up. She was consistent. She posted every day. She live posted every day. She talked about what this business was going to do for her and what it has done for her. I was more interested in what it was going to do for her because honestly, I didn't care what she had accomplished. You know what I mean? I wanted to see the vision. That's just me personally. I like inspiration. I like to see the vision. And that's the thing is like, even when you're brand spanking new, you're like, oh, I don't know what to say. Talk about what you want. Like, what do you want? What do you want? What's your vision? Why did you hit that submit button? Right? So that's what caught me. I never tried the products. I never heard of the company. And I didn't even know if this was legit. I literally clicked the submit button. I was like, okay, Melissa, what do I do? That was literally me the entire time. And then I met Courtney and it was just been a crazy ride, guys. And it's so amazing. And now here we are. And the fact that you're going to hear from 3 amazing women who literally have completely different walks of life. They're completely different in every aspect of their life. You are going to be dumbfounded. You are going to feel so like, oh my God, my undies were in a bunch this entire time for no reason. I just got to work. I just got to work because all these people are different. We're all different. You're not supposed to be like me. You're not supposed to be like Courtney. You're not supposed to be like Tish, like Josie, like iPhone. I don't know who iPhone is, but hello. iPhone or anybody. Like, you're not supposed to be like everybody else, because what's the fun in that? People don't connect to that, right? So first off, let me just end right there with my spiel. You guys know, if you don't know who I am, you can follow me on Facebook too, but my team knows who I am, and I talk a lot, so I gotta shut up. But announcement wise, what do we have? We have the pick 2, pick 3 deals are going until July 5th. So reach out to everybody, put up stories constantly about July 4th and doing a sale. Reach out to people that missed the BOGO. So if you got people commenting on your BOGO status or finally messaging you back from your BOGO message, just be like, oh my gosh, you know, you did unfortunately miss the BOGO, but I got a pick 2 deal that you can actually get a month's worth of coffee for $59. Boom, that's it. You're in the conversation again, right? You don't even have to wait for them to message you. You can just message them and be like, hey, sorry you missed that awesome sale, but good thing I got another one, right? Don't be afraid to message people. And then tomorrow we have a Zoom with Jade. It's going to be really, really good. You guys need to put that in your calendar. We'll send it around in the chats. It's going to be so good. It's with Kelly Brown, and she is so yellow. So you yellows are going to freaking love her because she's yellow and she just vibes with people. She's going to go into your soul and she's going to tell you exactly what you feel, man, because that woman does that to me. I absolutely love her. And Jade, who doesn't love Jade? We all love Jade. So I'm going to throw it off to our new, brand spanking new executive leader, Miss Jolie. Where is she? What happened?
Can Yami go first? Sorry.
Yeah. Well, you gotta tell me.
She has to go first in the chat. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Well, good thing. Yami, brand new diamond. All right. Take it away, Yami. I'm going to mute myself because I don't know, my dog might bark.
Okay. Hi guys. So my name's Yami. I am 19 years old. I am married to this awesome guy right here. We got married about a year ago. We actually had our anniversary in June. And we have a fat cat that's walking somewhere. My story is actually kind of complicated. It all started when I was 3 or 4 years old. I went through something really traumatic. I did not ever speak about it because I didn't think anybody would believe me. And I tried to fight it. I tried to get it out of my system, and I tried everything possible. I've always been involved in everything to just get that image out of my head in that scenario. And I just kept fighting for something, different. And I was always involved in everything. Like everything possible. In high school, I was literally in art club, NHS, tennis, band, you name it, I was in it. I found anything to just, to fight that memory because it was just so terrible, and I never want to go back and think about that again. And I'm pushing through every day. And one thing that I should never have done is push those feelings down and of course you have to keep going, but never push those feelings out. I am who I am today because I pushed those feelings aside, and I learned to do that. And you should never do that because someday you're going to burst and have those anxiety attacks and those panic attacks. They're not good. And I promise you guys, it's not good. You need to talk to someone. I thankfully have, all you amazing ladies and Alex, Chelsea, Jess, y'all are seriously amazing, and Sabrina and Courtney, oh my gosh. But yeah, I always pushed all my feelings aside, and I shouldn't. I'm learning even now to, open up and be be open with my emotions, because that's never a good thing to just, you know, push aside. And so, so yeah, like I was literally involved in everything. Whenever I was 16, I was trying to find a job, but like you can't get a job unless you have experience. And I did that for 2 years, you know, job searching. And then 3 months before I turned 18, I was a home health aide. And I did that. And then 11 days after I turned 18, I found a host a post on Facebook by Courtney, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like another opportunity that I can do, so I can just, you know, just do stuff, you know, because like I said, I just wanted to keep going and just do everything, you know. And so this was like an awesome opportunity. And of course, like my entire schedule was just overloaded, and I needed to find that like that balance between like school, family, work. And this was like perfect, like immediately, because they taught me along the way, and it was just amazing. And so one tip that I for sure wanted to share with y'all was having a 6 list. Mine is completely different, but you can find your own. Mine begins with myself and it ends with my team. So my first step of my day is focusing on me, putting all my emotions down, everything that I'm feeling, and I literally cry every morning. But that's good, because you need to like get it out, let it out, and then go about your day and keep going. My second thing that I do is posting. The third thing I do is messaging. Fourth thing is growing my network. Fifth thing is tracking all my LCs, what they have, and charting. Those you can do in any order. I do them like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. And like find that balance. Find the hour that you need to block off for your family or yourself. And then the sixth thing is empowering. So that's my team, empowering my team, making sure they're okay, making sure they're all right. So, and I just wanted to end it out with your story is your story. And like Sabrina says, you know, nobody's the same as you. You are a completely different person. You have a completely different story. You know, I'm like young, and I married young because I wanted to. I was happy. I knew he was the one. We talked it out. You know what I mean? Like, you decide your own timeline. You get to decide when you do things and when you want to achieve things, you know? So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, okay. Can I just say something real quick about Yami, you guys? Okay, so when Yami started, me and Courtney were like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful, but like, why doesn't she talk? Like, why doesn't she talk a lot? We were like, what the, like, she's like, what? And now, Yami, like, seeing who you were when you first started to who you became in the last month, like, guys, she was getting on Zooms with people on her team without me. I didn't get an invite. I was a little sad. I was a little sad, but I was like, these are my babies. They're all grown up, and I'm very, very proud. But that's what it is, right? Like, like Courtney says, you're creating community. And that's so important, because imagine if me and Courtney or Tish or any of the leaders, right? Katie, any of the leaders, imagine if we didn't create community. You guys wouldn't enjoy hopping on Zooms with us. You guys wouldn't wouldn't even do Zooms probably. You know? So you create that community, and like, Yami, when I tell you that you are a completely different person, like, you are a completely different person. And it's like, not saying the old you is bad. I'm not saying that, but like, it's definitely a grown version of you. Oh my gosh. Like, okay. I'm like, Yami's got it. I'm like, this is me to court. I'm like, nah, Yami's got it. I'm fine. It's literally how it is. Okay. So I love that. Tip wise, I love that tip. 6 list, so important. Guys, it doesn't have to be like a 6 list. If you want to do like a 4 list in the morning and then like a 4 list at night, well, it's a really big bug. You can. You need to find, the things that we do are simple, okay? We post on our Facebook and in our stories. We message for host to post. We follow up and we grow our network. So however you do those things, however you put them on a piece of paper and get them done, you get them done. That's it. You get them done. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's literally those things that we do every single day. Now, whether you do it to the highest level, right, to the max, or you're like coasting on it, your paycheck is going to reflect that. And I'm just being honest. Your paycheck is going to reflect if you're coasting, right? If you're coasting, if you're new, it takes a little bit to go up anyway. But if you're in this and you've been working, like, you know what coasting looks like, and you know what max 10 looks like. Like, you know what those, you know, the paychecks are different, trust me. So, all right, who is next? Are we doing? Oh yes, stay consistent, guys. Stay consistent. Ooh, Alicia! I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready for this. Guys, she wouldn't even, when she first started, she wouldn't even get on Zooms and she wouldn't even turn her camera on. And now she hosts her own like power, like she does like power hours. She hosts some, and now she goes live every single day. Like, this is like, I'm telling you, like, this business changes you and it makes you grow. And it's so awesome. Okay, Alicia, take it away.
I had to unmute myself. Okay. So I am Alicia. I am 29 years old. So before working this business, I was dealing with a lot of healing from past trauma and abuse, which started with just growing up with my parents and everything. My dad was never there, but not supportive, neglecting all of us kids. My parents wound up getting divorced when the year that I was actually going into high school. And I was actually going into a brand new high school where I wasn't gonna like know anybody. So I was dealing with my parents' divorce and also going into a new high school, not knowing anybody. And I was a very, very, very shy person, shyer than what Courtney and Serena know me as when I first started this. Like, it was like nearly impossible to get like 2 words out of me. But my dad was sometimes verbally and definitely emotionally abusive. So I was dealing a lot with that. And then I was having issues with my mom from time to time and everything. And then I wound up getting a job at a diversified livestock farm, and my boss knew kind of like everything that was going on and everything. So I looked up to him as a father figure to kind of get that balance back because my own father wasn't there for me. And a couple months after I had turned 18, well, actually before I go into that, my mom decided, like, when I was going to go off to college, that she was going to move down to North Carolina because she was sick and tired of my dad and everything and just wanted to get away from everything. And I was actually kind of glad because at that point I didn't really want nothing to do with my mom and everything, but I didn't want to have my brothers go and lose that connection. Shortly, like a couple months after I had turned 18, my boss from the farm actually sexually abused me, and he knew exactly that I wouldn't say anything, and that I was very shy, and I just kept my mouth shut about it. And I was, that night that he made his move on me, he was actually trying to comfort me and trying to make me feel better because of everything that was going on, because my mom was moving. I was going into a new school and everything, and he actually offered, before he even made his move on me or anything, offered for me to stay with him and his wife, so I could have a place to stay, so I wouldn't be by myself. And that one night, he just took advantage of me, and then it went on for 7 years. I didn't say anything, but I found out, like, after I had gotten away from everything, that other people kind of knew about it, but didn't really say anything. But I went on not saying anything, and there's like opportunities where I had to be able to say something, but I never did because I had a lot of fear that I was going to be by myself and that I would like lose everything. I didn't know like what I would do, because when I went off to college, I went to SUNY Cobleskill up in New York, and he would actually bring me to school, and he did some stuff to me while I was up there. And there was one time where I had the opportunity with some police officers to like tell them what was actually going on, but I just said that I was just really upset because my mom was moving and everything, which wasn't a lie, but I was kind of trying to avoid it because I didn't want to be stuck at the school. And then once I actually was able to finally get away from the farm, or actually what happened to get me away from the farm is there's my ex-boyfriend, who I don't even want to consider an ex-boyfriend. He was married at the time, started making moves on me, and I wound up moving in with him after they finally, he got divorced from his wife and everything. And then he wound up kicking me out of the house in the middle of the night, where I had to figure out where I was gonna stay. And it was just very hard at that time because I was just overwhelmed and stressed out and trying to pack everything that I could into my car and my dog at the time that I had. And it was just very stressful, and I was able to get a hold of my cousin, who lived like 45 minutes away, that allowed me to stay at her place for the night. And then after that, he wound up stalking me, so I had to put a restraining order on him. And then after dealing with all that, I happened to, a little bit before he had kicked me out, I had actually talked to somebody that actually worked at the farm with me. And I was gonna move in with her because I noticed that my ex-boyfriend was actually starting to be kind of like physically, like it was kind of starting to turn into like a physical abuse type of situation. And I was starting to notice the red flags. And while I was with him, I was actually going to Susan B. Anthony Project, which is, for those that don't know, is for people that have been like abused for domestic violence and all that. So I was getting therapy there, so I was able to recognize kind of like the red flags to be able to get out. And when I got into living with my friend, their daughter wound up being a little bitch. I hate to say it that way, but she was very kind of like abusive towards me, kind of being like a little kid with a tantrum. And I wanted to put a restraining order on her. And that whole situation was like a nightmare. So I went from one bad situation to another, to another, to another. Finally, I was able to get into my own place, which is where I am now, and where I was able to start recovering and recuperating from all these traumas that I've been through. So like my mindset was not very good at all, and I had very low self-esteem. I had a lot of unworthiness and a lot of emotions and feelings, and I would always just shove my emotions off to the side and just bury them inside me, because whenever I did express myself, I'd basically get in trouble for it, or be called a baby, or something else. Like it wasn't, it was just basically not good at all to be able to like show my emotions, and it was just like hard. So I always buried them inside. So then like I began to, like, when I felt like I needed to cry or anything or express myself, I wasn't able to in front of others, because I felt like I was going to be judged or somebody was going to hurt me. And I still struggle with that today, but I've gotten a lot better with it. But it's just been going through a lot over the years and just overcoming it and just having the strength. And during all that was going on, I actually wound up having severe suicidal thoughts, where I think it was like 3 times where I actually went to the hospital because of it. And my last experience was like my worst experience, and I never want to go back there again. Where basically anything that I would think of, it could be simple as like a pencil or like a piece of grass, on how to kill myself, because I didn't want to deal with all the BS anymore that everybody that was putting on me, and it was just getting way overwhelming. And there's always something inside of me that prevented me from doing it. And the last instance, I told my friend that I just need to go to the hospital, and she brought me to the hospital, and I stayed there for, I think it was like an hour or like a couple hours. And like, it's actually pretty scary being in there, like when you know like your situation isn't that bad and you see like other people that are in there worse off than you, and it actually scares you to be in that situation. But it's just incredible on like the strength that I had to be able to ask for help during that time, so I wouldn't. But there's always something that was like, I always felt like God was with me during these times, and there is always like a purpose, and that I still had a purpose in this life, even though everything else around me was going wrong and going to shit and basically falling down around me. And I felt like there was like no help, and it was like hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But after being able to be on my own, I was able to start doing healing. I was working with my advocate at Susan B. Anthony. I also have another therapist, just like a general therapist. I've done EMDR and a whole bunch of other things to help me to overcome my past traumas and everything. And I still get triggered from time to time, but I'm doing much better. And once I found this opportunity, I actually saw Courtney's post where I said, what would you do? I think it was like, what would you do with like $3,000, or how would $3,000 help you? And I responded to that, and it was like saying pay off rent, pay off like all that, because my first boss actually not only sexually abused me, but financially took advantage of me. And jacked up credit cards and everything else, and had me pay for a whole bunch of stuff. And I lost probably, and he owed me probably like $60,000 or something like that, just from not getting paid from doing some of the, like doing the work and everything. So it was just crazy. But once I was able to, like, once I saw that, like, I knew that I needed to do that, because I was actually, prior to seeing that post, I was praying for another source of income. Like, I've had like multiple, like I was only working like part-time jobs in the past, and I finally had like a full-time job, and it still wasn't enough to cover my expenses. So when this opportunity came to me, which was actually the second time it came to me, because when I was with my ex-boyfriend, one of my friends who was in the company, who's no longer in the company, actually came to me asking if I was interested, and at that time I wasn't. So when it came to me this time, I knew I had to do it. So I went after that opportunity, and it has changed my life in so many ways, and has given me the courage and the confidence, and to be able to get over my fears, and just to even go on a deeper level with healing from my past, and being able to recognize unlimited beliefs, and recognize things about myself that I needed to work on, or to become a better version of myself. And I'm actually able to finally be my true self, even though I still have a lot more work to do on that. But it's helped me just to grow tremendously, and just be able to step out of my comfort zone and just do a lot more. And like, when I talk to my therapist, she notices like the difference in me from like before I even started this business up to like starting this business and up to now. And she's just like incredible on how well like I've changed, and she can see it in me. And she just like, it's great being able to have an opportunity come your way and be able to have such a life-changing experience just because of one opportunity. And you never know what one opportunity can actually do for you until you actually go for it. And like, as I started doing this business, I was terrified to go live or to like do a lot of things, but I just went with it. And there was actually a couple times where I really felt like quitting and giving up. And I remember a couple times just reaching out to Courtney and saying that I feel like quitting, but I'm not a quitter and I'm not going to give up. And I can't remember what she responded back, but she didn't lose hope in me, and she had faith that I was still able to do this. And no matter what was going on, I still stuck through with it. Even though I've had my bad days, I've had my good days. Some days are going to be harder than others, but you just have to learn to push through, whether you are not feeling good. Like I also was dealing with like a lot of headaches and migraines, and just trying to get that all situated. And I was still working this business, and like I get headaches from time to time where it gets like get migraines where I feel really nauseous and feel really crummy, but I keep on going no matter how I feel. Like I keep pushing ahead, and sometimes I forget to take care of myself and learn knowing when to say no or when to stop is hard for me. So I'm still working on that, but just knowing when to rest is important, but also keep on pushing through. So I actually have like a couple pieces of advice to give you, not just one, because there's like more than one that I wanted to mention. One of the things is like going live. No matter how scared you are, no matter what feelings you're feeling inside, because when I first started doing lives, I felt like an idiot. I felt like everybody was gonna judge me. I froze up, and it was like I felt so embarrassed to do it. But even though you may be feeling that, just go for it, because once you start doing it, you learn to just keep on going, and it just becomes fun. Like I really enjoy doing the lives now, and it's like easy peasy, and it just being able to like show the products that you're using, and people want to see you actually physically doing that, because you actually see like people will start commenting on your posts and stuff, or they'll like when you're going live, if they hop on, they'll ask you questions and everything. And then like another tip is to make sure you're following up and just making sure that you put those dates like in a calendar, or however is going to be like the best fit for keeping organized, making sure you're following up. I know like there's times where like I completely forget to like follow up with people, or things like life is crazy trying to balance my full-time job and this at the same time, but making sure you get the names down, making sure you follow up with them, writing them in your calendar, just being organized with that. And definitely do things that make you feel uncomfortable, which like just stepping out of your comfort zone. When you step out of your comfort zone, there's so much more to life than when you just stay in your comfort zone. Because if you stay in your comfort zone, you're not going to change, and you're just going to stay in the same exact place. And stepping out of your comfort zone, I've stepped out of my comfort zone so much in this business, and I'm glad I did it, because I wouldn't be where I am today in this business if I didn't step out of my comfort zone and just get over my fears that I had. And like we all have fears, and you just have to learn to just get over them, and it's just the devil trying to prevent you from going forward and pursuing something that could really change your life even more. And then one thing that I started doing, which actually Courtney had mentioned, is doing journaling. I actually started doing at least 5 things that I'm grateful for in the last 24 hours, writing down 10 goals that I have for that day. Usually they're the same goals, and once I can check one off, then I do a new one, or sometimes I'm doing it and I come up with a new goal that I want to achieve. And no matter where you are in this business, whether you're new, whether you've been in here for like as long as I have been, or even longer, this is not a race. And Sabrina, I remember you telling this to me like numerous times, but it is not a race. I've been in this company for about 1.5 years already, and I have still not ranked Ruby yet, but I am determined, and I know that I can do more. And I know in order for me, I had to work on myself first before I could be where I am today. And you may have to just do a lot of self-work before you can actually start seeing progress in your own business. And like, I didn't start seeing progress until I started doing personal development, before I started like really working on myself, doing more self-care, started taking some of the products, just really want to change my life and just work on myself on multiple levels. So it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get to like the first rank or whatever rank you're doing it. It's when it's the right time, it will happen. And sometimes things, you're praying for them and they may not exactly happen when you want them to happen. But you may not be ready at that time. And that's why you have to learn to be patient and just go with the flow of life. And you're going to have things that are going to stop you, and you just got to keep pushing through. Like, no matter what happens in your life, you just got to keep on pushing through and keep going at it, and just get back up. Don't stay down on the ground. You got to keep on, you got to get back up and keep on going, because if you stay on that ground, you're not really going to be any help. But you got to just get up, have the courage, and just run with it and just keep on going. And one last tip that I want to mention, and actually I have actually noticed like over the last couple of days, is doing host to post. And when you get a no from a host to post, like somebody says, oh, I don't want to do it, always back it up with, okay, you can say like, okay, thank you. Side note, have you ever thought about doing this business with me? Or like say like a product. So either you incorporate like the business or the product. And I actually recently had somebody that I was talking to that didn't want to do a host to post. And then I was like, you know what? Something told me to just say, reach out to her and say, hey, are you like a coffee drinker or whatever? It was actually the script for the eyelash serum and the coffee. Would you want to collaborate with me? And usually you get a yes, whether it's the business or the product. But sometimes they may just say no. And you just got to move on. You can't let that no defeat you, because like when I first started having a lot of people say no's, it was very discouraging. But you have to just move on from those no's, and that one no is just one step closer to that yes. And that no is just not right now. Some people are just not ready at the time to get the products, or maybe they just don't feel comfortable putting up a post or whatever. But just don't let that no discourage you. Just keep on going, move on to the next person, because the more you keep on reaching out to people and messaging people and all that, you're going to get closer to that yes. And like over the last couple months, I've been getting a lot more people interested, and it takes time for people to really get to know you. And some people may not even like reach out to you, and then like all of a sudden they're just watching from the backside, and then eventually they reach out to you. Like you can be doing like doing your life post or going live or whatever, or posting on your stories, and all of a sudden they randomly message you, even if you've been messaging them, or maybe you haven't even messaged them yet, and they reach out to you and are interested. I don't know if I missed anything, but I think that's about it.
Well, all I have to say is, what are you doing? She's like awkwardly standing behind me like, Mom, what do you want? Honestly, Alicia, like me and Courtney have talked about, honestly, me and Courtney talk about everybody. So in a good way. in a good way. Okay. So like we talk about you guys all the time because we care about you guys, and we want to know how we can help you, and we brainstorm on like what we can do to make this better. And I mean, Courtney talks to all the leaders about how we can be better, right? And I'll never forget like me and Courtney having a conversation and being like, Alicia is gonna one day just like be a different person. Because honestly, Alicia, because you never quit. You never quit. Even if you were like completely in the dumps, even if you like were not having a good day, you would reach out to me and Courtney. We would help you. We would talk to you, but then you would go help yourself. So this is the thing that I want you to take away from Alicia. Alicia came to us for help. She came to us for advice, and we gave her advice, but she didn't then go sit on the couch and watch Netflix. No, Alicia took our advice and she sought out help. She's getting help, right? She's getting therapy, which that's nothing to be ashamed of. Well, if you don't need to go talk to somebody, go talk to somebody. It's not taboo. If you need to be able to talk to someone, talk to them, okay? So this is the thing, like Alicia came to us, she asked for advice, she vented, but then she went and she did the work to make herself better. And that's what we need to take from that. And her tips were absolutely amazing, but like, she's still here. It's not a race. And I tell that to her all the time. I'm like, what, you running? I'm like, yeah, it's great. You can run. You can go diamond in 30 days. People have gone diamond in 7 days. Is it possible? Yes. But that doesn't mean that you have to be doing that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like oh, you need to. If you want to, shit, go diamond in 7 days. Do it. You know what I mean? Like, of course, we're going to be there every step of the way to help you. But I don't want you to feel this sense of overwhelming, like, well, I'm not like these people. Well, I'm not, you know, I don't have what they have, or I don't have this, or I don't have support, or I don't have this. Stop. Just stop. Like Alicia said, write down what you are grateful for. Are you not breathing? Simple. Are you not breathing? You should be grateful for that every single day, because there are people that don't wake up to that. Okay? So number one, that is always a thing that you need to be grateful for. It can be the littlest things, guys. We overlook that every single day, do we not? We wake up and we're like, oh, it's going to be a long day. You just had the breath to say that it was going to be a long day instead of saying, it's going to be a great day, so let's just go after it, right? Mindful thoughts are powerful. Even if you're not saying it out loud, the fact that your subconscious is thinking about it, you are putting that energy into the universe. I'm telling you guys. I am not, the person that you see today, I was not that person 6 years ago when I started dialysis, okay? I had the typical pity party, victim, why did this happen to me mindset, okay? I did. I was 20 years old. I thought I was invincible, and I thought I was a hard ass, all right? And my world came crashing down at that point. And now every day I wake up and I'm a completely different person because I had to grow through the pain that I went through. I had to confront the pain every single day. I had to confront my feelings every single day. And yes, some of us, we hide those feelings. Some of us suppress them. Yes, we do. We do. I know we do. I did it too. But like everybody so far has said on this Zoom is that you cannot suppress your emotions, because then what happens? You are not working on yourself. You are not growing. You are not being a part of this awakening that you need to come to terms with. If you are hitting a block, you are the one that's creating that boundary. Nobody is standing in front of you being like, you can't work your business, or you can't go to, you can't get therapy, or you can't do this, or you can't get a car, or you can't do this. Nobody is physically standing in front of you saying that. It's you, it's your mind, it's what's in here that is doing that. Okay. And I know we're going to end it with Jolie, because Jolie, oh my gosh, I remember last month You were in the promoting chat and you were like, I hope I get this. And I'm like, change that mindset right now. If you know anything about me, I will be the first one to call you out on mindset wording. I will be the first one to do it because I would want someone to do it for me. If you say trying, if you say wanting, if you say hoping, Sabrina's going to correct you. And Jolie learned that last month, and look what she did. She pulled out all the stops. She went hard, and she promoted, guys. She did it. She didn't think that she was going to do it, but she did it. So unmute yourself, Jolie. I'm so excited to have you on, and I can't wait. I can't wait to hear you.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to tell you about myself. I wrote because I'm bad about going all over the place, so I'm going to be reading. So before I did It Works, I am a single mom, and I was married for 20 years. So becoming a single mom was really hard for me. So I was a single mom. I was a surgical tech, and then single mom carpet pulled out from underneath me, and I was paying $700 a month in child support, bringing home less than $600 a month to pay my bills with. And so I was struggling. Then last September, I had rotator cuff surgery. So I've been out of work since September, paying $700 a month in child support and not being able to make my bills. Then last year, I filed for bankruptcy. I had my car repossessed, and I almost got evicted from my house because I couldn't afford my bills. So I was a hot mess. In November, I found another network marketing company that I was involved with that, like, I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like the startup kit was, I think, $30. And I was like, okay, well, I can do this. Anybody can sell something. But the people, like, were never in contact with me until the end of the month. And they were like, okay, well, how much did you make for the month? And I was like, nothing, because I wasn't interested in it. And so then finally, like, there was an incentive to win something for it. So like come February, I was like, all right, I'm in. I can win something. And like, you give me a prize, I'm going to go after it, and I'm going to go after it hard. So in February, I won the prize. And so now my leader, who had never talked to me since November, was up my butt. Oh, so how much did you make in February and March? And I was like, well, I made $1,000 and something in February. And in March, I made $750. So, and I think it was in April, or like maybe early May, I saw a TikTok from Tish, and I was like, oh, she made a $30,000 bonus. She's made $30,000 in bonuses. I want that because I can benefit from what she's doing. And so, and she's local. So I text her, like, I saw her TikTok, I text her right away, and I said, I want in. And so she got back to me, and I signed up that day. So my tip is consistency. Host to post, I suck at. Like, literally, I can send out, I was talking to Courtney about this today. I can send out host to post, and people are like, no. And I'm like, all right, have a great day. And that's fine. Like, I'll take a no any day of the week. Like, whatever, I'll get back to you next week and I'll try again, because your no is a no today, but it's going to be a yes one day. And I'll take that. But consistency is your key. It's getting that yes and sticking to that to get your yes. So you go and you go and you go and go and go until you get that yes. And it's going out there, and it's getting up and getting on those morning Zooms and those power hours. And it's doing what the leaders of the power hours are telling you to do. So it's getting those 25 friends and it's interacting with those people. And although, like, what I have found recently is that the people that you interact with and become friends with, they're saying, well, who are you and how do I know you? It's interacting in like I don't know why it's been more recently that they're saying, well, how do I know you? But it's saying, hey, well, you're a friend suggestion on Facebook, and I just like to get to know new people. And then they want to have that conversation. And what it is maybe you're that only interaction that they're having for the day. And so maybe you're that light in them. maybe you're that only light that they're having for the day. So be that light for them, because maybe that's what they need. Because I can tell you that during COVID, I had no light because I didn't have anything. So I'm going to tell you a little about my story, because everybody needs a little bit of inspiration, because if I can do this business, anybody can do this business. Because like I said, I was married for 20 years. And then the carpet was pulled out from underneath me, but not really, because I was miserable in my marriage for 20 years, honestly. Because in 1997, I met the man of my dreams. So I thought, because he was wonderful and he was Prince Charming. But I met him in August, and I lived in Kentucky and he lived here. And so I moved up here. We met in August. I moved up here in December, right before Christmas. And by January, I started being abused. And by March, I was pregnant. And by June, I moved back to Kentucky. One day, I packed my stuff up and I moved back. But evidently, like, the cycle just continued, because he kept saying, oh, I'll get better, and I'll stop. But I came back. So I had my daughter in November. We got married the beginning of November. By the end of November, I had her. I had 6 miscarriages in between. I have 4 kids. So I have my daughter, who's 21, and then my youngest son he'll be 12. So I had 4 kids and 6 miscarriages in between the 4 of them. After my youngest was born, at 32 weeks, I became an addict. It started out with just anxiety medicine, because it was my way to not deal with the fact that my 32-week-old son, when he was in the NICU, died. Although he was brought back, it was hard to deal with. You know, that's not something that's easy to deal with. So with the stress of that, like, I just began to stuff my emotions. I stuffed the emotions of the abuse. I stuffed the emotions of the death of my son. I stuffed the emotions of everything that was going on around me, because I didn't want to have to deal with my reality. That addiction went on for almost 3 years. And at the pinnacle of it, I overdosed, and my oldest son found me. And that's the hardest thing that has to do with anything, is that he had to find me. I can remember praying every night that I would wake up the next day, and if God would allow me to wake up, that would be my breaking point, that I would get up the next morning and I would move on, and I would stop my addiction. So when I didn't wake up, and I had to go to the emergency room because my heart rate was so low because I had overdosed, that's when I realized that I needed help. Because God did let me live, but he let me live only because my son had found me. And so since then, I have been clean, but only by the grace of God. I'm sorry. I was taken to the local hospital, where I spent a couple days, and then I was taken to a psychiatric ward where I spent 2 weeks. I came home. I was not allowed to be with my kids by myself. So my mother-in-law at the time had to be with me. So then after that, 2 weeks later, I went to Brooklyn Teen Challenge, and I spent 6 months in rehab. During that time, I didn't get to see my kids. My husband was so manipulative that he would bring them up when he felt was the right time, which was maybe once a month, if that. He would manipulate the call time. So if I would get to talk to them, it would be minutes. Like, he would just, it was horrible. So I've been clean for now almost 9 years, because that happened in September of 2011. The abuse continued when I got home. So the abuse continued for 7 more years. Keep in mind that I moved here from Kentucky, so I have no family. I'm here by myself. So when the divorce happened, I lost all of my friends. So they all went with him. When I was married, I wasn't allowed to hang out with anybody because he was a narcissist. So I was controlled by everything. Like if I went out, I was monitored to see where everybody went and like what I was doing, where I was going, who I was with, what was going on, when I was going to be back. So it was like I was always walking on eggshells. When we would go on vacation, to see his family in Florida. We never went to see any of my family. In 2013, I finished school against his, when I got out of rehab, I started school against his will, and I finished it. He's like, you'll never finish school, but I did finish school. In 2016, I started pursuing nursing school. In 2017, my daughter graduated from high school, and when we took her down to college, she ended up in school in Florida in 2017. In December 2017, God spoke to me and he said, go, you are my princess, and this is not your calling. I have called you for so much more. And I believe that those are the words that he truly spoke to me. So on December 16th of 2017, I was done. And I told my husband that I wanted a divorce. And he said that he said, I need 40 days. I need you to give me 40 days to change. And I said, no, like you've done this cycle for all this time and I'm done. And so for the past 3 years, I've not had my boys. I've been on my own. I've struggled hard. I've been told that I would never see my boys again, that he would completely take my boys out of my life. And he has tried. He has definitely tried to. He has taken my daughter out of my life. He has lied to her, and until last Friday, I had not seen my daughter since December of 2017. And when I saw her, she did not say a word to me. She acted as though I was not even there. I have had to represent myself in court. I've had to do a trial on my own. I've had to, any kind of proceedings, I've had to do it myself because I can't afford an attorney. My husband self-diagnosed me with bipolar, narcissism. I play the victim card. I'm a compulsive liar. Last summer, we, via a court order, we had to go and have psychological testing, like to the court, and all that came back clear. Like I had nothing. My tests were very regiment. Like I had to go like 6 or 7 times, and his attorney and him made fun of me in court because I had to go that many times. Like I said, I had to go to trial and like actually do the trial all by myself. So I tell you all of this because the devil is a liar. You see, in February, I got an order that stated I would get an extra day immediately with my boys. So in February, I started seeing my boys on Tuesdays and Thursdays and every other weekend. Then when school was out, which was a couple weeks ago, I gained 50-50 custody of my children. But I was the one that was crazy for saying that I was fighting for my kids. You're never crazy for fighting for your kids because those kids are a gift from God, and he doesn't give them to you to take them away from you. God is a God of restoration. and he can restore anything. He can restore your thoughts. He can restore anything that he wants to. So any lie that you have ever been told that you're unlovable, that you're ugly, that you're lazy, that you're fat, that you're unsuccessful, I'm going to tell you something that's a lie, straight from hell. God doesn't make junk. You're worth it more than you'll ever know. You're loved. You're absolutely beautiful. You can go to the top. We have an amazing team. This is a team like no other team I've ever seen before. I truly believe that this is a movers and shakers team. And when it comes time for convention, I think that that's what we're going to be recognized for the way that we work together. That, you know, like I've never seen anything like it, that the way that, you know, it seems like so many times when women get together, and I know we have some men too, but like when women get together, like it's always like a bitch fest, I feel like sometimes, but like the women on this team just come together and we support each other like no women I've ever seen before in my life. And I showed Courtney this earlier today when I was talking to her. I made this list back in the fall sometime, and it's my law of attraction list. And it says, my kids, I'm going to make $1 million. My boyfriend and I are going to be happy and healthy. I'll have a new car. I'll get to move out of state with my kids. I'll be able to go on a Disney vacation. I'll have an MLM business that'll be successful. I'll make money without trying. Only positive thoughts. Restoration with my daughter. A positive outcome in court. Complete nursing school. And I'll be able to keep my apartment. Do you know that more than 50% of these things on this list are marked off? So if you don't think that the law of attraction can work, tell me that I'm wrong, because these things are marked off. So don't think that they don't. You have to have it in your mind. You're not dumb. God gave you a brain and he doesn't make junk. That's all I have.
Oh my gosh, Jolie, you got everybody crying. Everybody's crying. Everybody's in their feels. Jesus, honestly though, like the simple fact, I just want to touch on what you said, is that like God does not make junk. How powerful is that? We are creator, like we are creations in his image. Like we are in his image, the way that we are, the way we walk this earth, okay? And even if you're not a spiritual person, if you don't believe in God, I honestly, guys, I really don't care. You can believe in unicorns, but something is here. You are here for a reason. Something has propelled you here. Something has brought you here. You have to allow it. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel like the world is collapsing around you, but that's because you're coming to an awakening. You're allowing good things to flow into you. You're allowing things around you to not dictate your life. Jolie could have easily been like, nope, my life sucks. This all sucks. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to sulk in a corner because that's what I'm going to do. Where would she have been if she did that? She wouldn't have had 50% of that law of attraction list filled out. I'll tell you one thing. It's one thing to write things down, guys. It's one thing to write things down, but you got to say it to yourself every single day. You have to speak it every single day. And because I'm telling you, and this is what's going to blow. Oh yes. Watch The Secret, because that's where Jolie got that from, was The Secret. It's on Netflix. Watch it. It's corny in the beginning, but watch it because it's worth it. Okay. Get past the corniness in the first like 5 minutes and it is worth it. Okay. Guys, like, I don't even know how to like describe this. Like, I've never done network marketing ever, like ever. I've always worked in the vet field. I've always worked in like the pharmacy. Like I've always worked in a medical field. Okay. And Jolie is 100% right that when women come together, it's usually at each other's throats and trying to degrade and belittle each other. That's what it was in the vet clinic. The vet world is nasty, guys. The vet world is nasty. People are mean. And I remember that I always allowed them to dictate how I felt. So you are the 5 people that you surround yourself with. So who are you surrounding yourself with? What is in your circle? Where is this energy coming from? You have to think about that, right? Like, I've never been around so many women that are so positive, like ever. Yes, we have our bad days. Yes, we have days that we're not so positive. Yes, we have days that are kind of like the slope on a roller coaster. But our bounce back game is strong, you guys. Your bounce back game has to be on point. And I'm telling you, it has to be on point. Oh, something bad happened? Okay. Let me discuss it. Let me say it out loud. Let me figure out my solution, because we're solution finders, not problem seekers, right? We're solution finders, always. We always find the solution. Always, 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 always. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much. Oh my God, so much for sharing. I hope everybody, I know that everybody got something from this, because how could you not? Guys, like I said, like, you're not meant to be me. You're not meant to be Jolie or Alicia or Yami or anybody on this Zoom. You are not meant to be anybody on here besides you. Now, whether you figured that ish out yet, it's okay. You don't have to have it all pretty in a pie right now. You don't. It doesn't have to look like that right now. And do not ever, ever compare yourself to somebody else. Do not do that. You can seek inspiration. You can seek inspiration from other people, but do not ever sit there and be like, oh, well, she has this and I don't have it, and I don't have this and I don't have that. What do you have? Because God doesn't care what you don't have, because he didn't give that to you. He gave you what you do have, so utilize it. He didn't give you other things because he didn't see that, you are his image. He didn't see that for you. So why are you stressing about something that God didn't give you? It's not yours. Don't worry about it. He gave you all that you need. All that you need. Or unicorns, whoever you believe in. I don't know. They gave you whatever you need. You know what I mean? Okay. So you guys know what I mean. I don't want anybody to be like, I don't believe in God. Okay. It's okay. We are a Christian-based company, but like, I'm just saying. That's one thing that I do love about this company, is that even though they're Christian-based, they love everybody. They love everybody. Our company stood up for the Black Lives Matter movement. Okay. And no, I don't, where you stand with it, it doesn't matter. But like, our company stood for that. Okay. We have ambassadors that are making millions of dollars, that are people of color, and they give us strength. They give us clarity. And like, just to know that you're in a company that just like gets it. I don't know. It's just, it makes my heart like we are all images of God. And like, that's the thing, is I just love everybody on this team so much. And I want you guys to be successful. I want you guys to go. I want you guys to just run. You know what I mean? Like, just do all the things, because you are worthy. You didn't click that submit button to just like do nothing. You have to bring yourself back to that day that you clicked submit and became a distributor. You have to go back to that moment and be like, why did I click this submit button? What was going through my mind when I clicked submit? And I'm going to tell you right now, that's part of your why. The reason why you clicked submit, it's an inkling of your why that now grows and expands every single day. Right? Because your why changes. My why was different a year ago than it is now. My why a year ago was to get a transplant. My why now is to keep the transplant that I do have happy and healthy. You see how your why changes? And it's okay that it changes. I absolutely loved all of this. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but it's like blowing up. You guys are blowing up the chat. But all right, anybody else? Oh yes, do your personality test. That's actually really, really good. That's a good Good thing. If you haven't done the personality test, do the personality test. It's really, really good. And you should do it often, probably like every 6 months, because you change. Ooh, when you're growing and you're doing all the things, you change. And it's good to do that personality test to see where your strengths are and where you can kind of, I don't consider them weaknesses, but they're places that you can find better solutions for and that you can kind of like move with it, right? So that's why I think it's super important. Don't be like, well, I'm yellow, so like I can't be a mass enroller. Don't say that shit, because I will call you out on that. Do not say that, okay? Do not say that. It's, I'm yellow and I am going to be a mass enroller, right? Like I may be yellow, but I'm going to be a mass enroller, right? Because yellows are very people oriented. They don't, you know what I mean? Like you can do anything you want to. Your colors don't dictate that, but they do help you understand why maybe you do better at videos, or why you're, you know, if you're a blue, you don't like missing out on things, or if you're a red, you're very money motivated, right? So that's important to know your colors. I'm yellow, and that's what makes me a mass enroller. I love that, Yami. I love that. See? My gosh, I love this team. Okay. Does anybody have anything they want to add? Does anybody have any questions? Also, stop the recording. Courtney, do you want anything to say? Courtney, we know you
Nothing else
read.
to add.
Oh, Alicia, let's hear it.
One thing I forgot to mention before is you want to stay close to the fire. So you want to make sure you're hopping on any trains that you can, or even watch the recordings, but it's so much better when you can watch it when it's actually happening. But just making sure you stay close to the fire, because if you don't stay close to the fire, you're going to kind of like dwindle away, I guess is the only way I can say it. But just make sure you stay close to the fire, and definitely do personal development daily, because I didn't start noticing a difference or like a major shifting going on until I started working on myself. And I've had so many positive things coming out of this. Like I've had my car insurance go down. I've had like so many like decreases in like bill payments and everything else, just by changing my mindset and just not worrying how am I gonna like pay for this or that. And once you just kind of like give it all to God and just like have faith, everything starts shifting. And since I've joined this business, my faith has grown even more. And since I've gotten even closer to God, I've been blessed with so many more things. So just trying to stay positive no matter what life throws at you, and just try to get through it. And sometimes you just have to laugh at the things that go wrong. And I've been learning to do that, even though it may not be funny. Sometimes just laughing about it will help you get through that situation.
I love that, Alicia. I'm telling you, you're like a whole brand new.
Can I just add something too?
Yes, of course you can. Hello, duh.
I think like this is like has been on my brain like all day today too, is that you just have to praise through the storm. Like you have to praise no matter what. If you're hitting that block, you're hitting that roadblock, you're hitting that mountain, and you're like, what the heck? Like how come? Like just praise him anyway. Like because he wants to see what your reaction is going to be in that no. He wants to see what your reaction's going to be when you get that disappointment, when you're not getting the enrollment, when you're not getting the distributor that you want, that said that was going to sign up. He wants to see what your reaction's going to be, so you praise him anyway. And so if you keep praising him, he's going to overwhelm you, and you're going to be so impressed by how he impresses you, because you're impressing him. So just keep praising him and giving him all the glory, and it's just gonna be a win-win.
My God, Jolie, I love that. Oh my gosh. So do you guys realize that even no matter what rank you're at, I'm gonna tell you guys a little secret right now. Your rank doesn't necessarily matter. You guys know that, right? A rank is just a rank, okay? You as a person, like you three ladies tonight, you guys are talking like triple diamonds. Like this is how we hear triples and above talk, okay? What you guys are saying, the confidence that is spewing out of you guys, that is literally overflowing into everybody, that's a triple talking, okay? That is legitimately a triple diamond talking and above. Because guess what? Your rank, guys, at the end of the day, your rank is just a rank. Your rank is just a rank. There are people who are rubies that make $5,000 a month. Your rank does not dictate your paycheck. So go after the income. Go after the rank, of course. You know, you want to hit that rank, go after it. You know, do you, right? You want to be triple, go triple, right? But go after the money. Is that not why you are here? Utilize that compensation plan. We have one of the best compensation plans in network marketing. Why do you think we're so comfortable plastering our IDS statement, our income disclosure statement, all over social media, but you don't see anybody else's company doing that? It's because we know we have the best comp plan, so we are not afraid to put that on blast everywhere, right? So you guys have to realize that, like, go after the money. Go after being growing as a person. Go after being enlightened. Go after all the things. And then the rank comes. I'm telling you, the rank comes with it. But you guys are talking like triple diamonds right now. I can only imagine how you're going to be talking when you are triple diamonds. It's going to be wild. You're like, you future black diamonds. Holy crap. Okay? Like, guys, like these women have not been in the business that long. Some have been, what, 2 years, 1 year, 1.5, not that long, right? And then we have some people on here that have been 3+ years in this business. We're pretty new business though, because I feel like me and Courtney started around the same time, like almost 4 years in. So like, do you guys understand how much we've accomplished in 4 years as a team? If Courtney never said yes, we wouldn't be on this call right now. So who are you not reaching out to that in a year from now is going to be on your Ambassador Diamond Zoom or Triple Diamond Zoom, whatever rank you want to be, whatever money income you want to be making? Who is going to be your distributor that you're too scared? I was going to say a bad word, but I was going to say it. You're too scared to talk to, or you're too scared to reach out to people. You're missing out on your future team next year, sitting on this powwow, making people cry and talking a lot about awesome, like, mind-blowing things. You're doing yourself and them a disservice. Get to work, find the people. If they don't want to come, it's okay, because you're still going. You're still going to go, whether they come with you or not, right? That's the whole point. It's the whole point. I'm sure if I wasn't here, Courtney would still be here having a Zoom with you guys. You know what I mean? Like, but if I wasn't here, Cindy wouldn't be here and Destiny wouldn't be here. And like, none of these people would be here. Do you know what I mean? So you need to start aim for the money, right? Where do you want to be? How much money do you want to make? And guys, the rank comes with it. The rank comes with the money. There are people, I'm telling you guys, there are people that make a lot of money at different ranks. There are people that make more than their uplines. Because, shocker, this business is not a scam, so you can make more money than the person that signed you up. And we know this for a fact because some of us have done it, okay? So you just need to go. Just go. Grow as a person, grow through it. That's the best thing I can say for you guys. Grow through it. Stop being negative. Stop listening to negative stuff. What did Jade say last night on the July kickoff? Stop the negativity. Stop it. I mean, I correct myself. I try to correct myself as much as I can. I do really, really good at it. I'm very good at correcting myself in my brain. Sometimes I say it and then I have to be like, never mind, take it back. But I try my hardest to make sure my team knows that, like, change it. Change your mindset. Change your mindset. You have to always change your mindset. Can you be quiet? He's like yelling. But absolutely love this. This is such a great powwow. I'm gonna end this recording unless anybody has anything else to say.
Just have one more thing I want to mention.
Oh my gosh, Alicia, keep it coming. Go ahead.
Okay, so one thing that like I noticed from the time that I started up until now, some of us may not like get that like click to want to be able to do this, or it may take us a while to really get like the drive or the motivation to do this business. And it wasn't until recently where I actually had that click where like this is what I want to do, and like just things started shifting. As things started shifting, the it just clicked to me that this is what I want to do. And it doesn't matter like if you're struggling or not, eventually you will be able to have that like ignition in you that just comes out of nowhere. It's like it's almost like waking up one day where you just like all of a sudden it's like this is what I want to do. I want to put my all into this, and it's just incredible on like once you get that ignition that you just get so pumped and excited that you will pretty much do anything that you want to make it happen. And like I've been on vacation this past week, and it's been like the greatest thing because I've been able to put more time into working this business. And I honestly do not want to go back to my full-time job, even though I love it. But like this business has like really changed my life and has like really I've never been so excited and so pumped to be a part of or do a job than ever before. Like I've never been this excited before, or so pumped to be able to just do a job before. And it's just like incredible how like I've been just getting super pumped and excited and just getting on these Zooms and just seeing one another and just listening to what everybody has to say. It just, you just start getting these vibes that you just like, you know, this is why I want to do this. And you start learning what your why is, even though you may not know it at the beginning, you start learning what your why is. And like, it's just incredible on like, even though you just don't feel like doing this some days, or like you don't have the motivation, you have to be disciplined in order to be able to keep on going. And it may take you, like it took me a little bit over a year just to finally, like within like the past month is when I actually really got that click and saying, you know what, I want to be able to do this full time. Like even though I've had the intention of wanting to make this a full-time job, but like it just even much stronger than it ever has. And it just, you get that ignition and then it like doesn't go out. And as long as you stay close to the fire and just get on trainings and just dive right in and work on yourself and really work on your mindset, you will be successful in this business.
100%.
Again, I want to say something real quick.
Oh my God! You know what? This is what I mean, guys. These are triples. Do you know what they message? So we all went to a group chat, right? And they're like, "I'm so nervous. I'm uneasy. I'm scared to talk." And then look at them. Do you guys see? Do you guys see this? Oh, I love it. Okay, go ahead, Yami. Go ahead.
Okay, so like Alicia was saying, like once you catch that momentum, keep going, because like the moment you stop, you have to start over. And I was there. Like I like gave up and I was like, oh, today's not working for me. And like I was telling Sabrina, like I had to start over, because the moment you stop working your business is the day that people are going to start asking, are you still doing that thing over there? Hello? You know what I mean? And so you have to keep going. You have to, like, if there's a will, there's a freaking way. Like, you know, if you want to go triple in like 3 days. You know what I mean? So, you know, catch that momentum. Keep putting coals in your, like, fire pit over there and keep the fire burning. Keep that momentum going, you know? And if there's, like, a moment that you're like, I don't know if I can do this, go do some self-development. Keep going. Send that extra message, you know? So.
My gosh. Oh my gosh, I have goosebumpies. I cannot.
And also one other thing is like if you've never been to conference, you must go to conference.
Yes.
And like I struggled trying to just get payment just to be able to attend this past one, but it is the best thing and it gets you so fired up, and it just being together as a whole company is just the greatest feeling. And like I absolutely loved when they had the worship night and everything, and you'll do a lot of crying and everything else, and you'll just go through so much emotions, but like you start having all these different things clicking inside of you and getting ideas and just helping you to be successful. And it's just incredible, like on like how much it can really change your life just by going to conference. And even if you can't afford it, try to find a way to get there. Like I use the Klarna app to be able to make partial payments to go, and I stopped paying rent to be able to attend it, and I'm way behind rent. I'm like 8 months behind on rent right now that I still have to pay, and I'm fortunate and very lucky that I have a landlord that is allowing me to just make partial payments because he knows my situation. Most landlords wouldn't be as nice as they are. They would say, you're out of here. So I'm very fortunate enough, and I've prayed about it, and so I'm very fortunate to be able to be where I am. But guys, do whatever you have to do to definitely get to conference, or even like just I don't know, I'm just getting so excited and losing my train of thought now, but like it's a life-changing experience, and it can be overwhelming, and especially like if you're not that type of person that likes being in crowded areas, it can be overwhelming, because I know I was having kind of like anxiety attacks and everything when I was there because of just like the overcrowdedness, and I don't always like being surrounded by people. But also like with my past experiences with men and different people, it's hard for me to have people close to me, and I get very uncomfortable. But it's going to conference will definitely